Howdy folks, Tetsu here, down in lower tiers where the power is low but the battles are fierce. And today I'll be continuing my self-proclaimed quest to archive all the battles during the first 7U tournament, which thereby I hope to bring light to the tier and possibly help it grow. So join me as we move on to the 7th match of round 2. Our combatants this time will be the Fast 31 against TylerFitz 8. We've seen TylerFitz before, where in round 1, they managed to defeat Julian113 in a 2-1 victory. While I have not seen the Faz play, they are a regular in the 7U community. Either way, both players' skills shall be witnessed here today by myself and you, the viewer. If you happen to enjoy the video, I humbly request you click that like button. Also subscribe and click that bell if you want to be notified of later uploads. Working together, we can bring more attention to this fascinating metagame. With all that said, let's begin. Okay, match 7, game 1. Play, lead metagame, Charmeleon versus Tentacool. Alright, basic stuff, Hydro Pump, no, instant switch, Hydro Pump is coming in though, with Tentacool being switched in from Tyler in order to tank it. Oh, hey Thor. Are you okay? Silly cat. Alright, sorry about that folks. I didn't realize Thor was in my room at the current moment. At any rate, good switch by Tyler in order to do that. So, I'm assuming we're going to see Brute Force at this point. Hydro Pump coming in from Tyler, and Blizzard going for the freeze, but no freeze. Oh, okay. 2 consecutive Blizzards. Do we see a freeze? No. It literally is just brute forcing at this point. And Wrap coming by Tyler. Are we going to see a switch? Yes, a quick switch to Golbat and Meowth coming in. Okay. So, we don't see this matchup too often. Meowth has the move pool to incorporate T-Bolt. So, it does have a super effective attack to use against Golbat. Although, Slash would just usually be better, I think. But either way, Golbat is fairly tanky for what it is in, well, this tier. Confuse Ray is a pretty common use for it. Granted, it doesn't really take much damage for Meowth to get into Hyper Beam range, so Tyler obviously is going to have to pay attention to that. Let's continue. Substitute. And, yes, I found this out recently. I mean, I've seen it happen before. I always figured it was, like, just a glitch, like the 256 glitch. But no, apparently, Substitute, while it doesn't block Sleep or Paralysis, it can actually block Toxic and Confuse Ray, which is, well, it's kind of funny. It kind of works like it is supposed to in later gens, just in a bit of a different way. Thor, are you okay? Do you need to blow your nose? Apparently. Alright, Meowth coming in for a Slash. Okay, Double Edge. Substitute is gone. Slash coming in. I would love to see if Rest is going to be a thing. Now, question is, and what I mean by that is, I've actually heard 1 or 2 players talk about using Rest simply because Golbat is quite tanky being in 7U tier. So, I'm not entirely sure about that. In fact, it's kind of hard to justify, at least so far that I've seen of the tier, to justify even using Rest, since most Pokemon are just not really all that tanky in the general sense. So, But I'm curious if Golbat is going to be switched, or is the Faz going to try for the Speed Tie, because they're both 90 speed. Oh, well, Tyler winds up switching. Double Edge does come in. Are we going to see a quick switch? Or, nope, kept it in so they could put it... Confusion actually works. Alright. So, oh, well, it immediately snapped out of confusion. Never mind. Oh, you want to go outside for? Okay. Come on. Come on. Sorry about that, folks. Very unprofessional of me. Let's see. Alright. So Golbat does go down for the Faz. So who are we going to see come in? Either, I'm assuming Voltorb if they've got it. Maybe they're on Meowth? Maybe Charmeleon. Charmeleon possibly? No, Ivysaur. Gonna try to go for that Sleep Powder, I imagine. Rhyhorn coming in. And Sleep Powder misses. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because Rhyhorn just switched in, so it's not going to attack. Ivysaur's faster than Rhyhorn, so they can go for either Razor Leaf to try to snag a knockout on Rhyhorn, or they can predict whether or not Tyler is actually going to switch, because that's usually the thing, right? That they try to switch something else, because, oh, well, it's probably going to... Ivysaur's probably going to use Razor Leaf. So, instead of using Razor Leaf, the Faz could go for Body Slam instead. So, let's see. Rhyhorn is going to be immediately switched. Razor Leaf? No, they went with the Sleep Powder still. So Charmeleon is more or less down for the count at the moment. Swords Dance with Ivysaur coming in. Yeah, there we go. At the very least, it's not a bad thing. Although the fastest Ivysaur is immediately put to sleep, so that's not great. Not great. So now, do we see a switch? Yes, to Charmeleon. And Tentacle coming out. This is bad for Tyler because it's just immediately Slash Bait. Now, they could keep it in, let it go off, and Rhyhorn possibly, or their own Charmeleon. They actually do send Rhyhorn out. They want to keep their Tentacle in the back, which, hey, that's perfectly fine. They've got Ivysaur for the Faz, and, I mean, Blizzard is definitely never going to hurt. Neither is Hydro Pump. So, oh, the Faz has Shelter. Earthquake hits, and it does quite a bit, actually. A little less than half. So, from here, Rhyhorn is either going to be switched out. Granted, let me check something. I'm pretty sure Shelter is slower, but let me be 100% sure on that. I'm going to bring up the Resource Hub. Resource Hub. To be fair, I might have said Resource, and it just sounded weird to my ears. Okay, so... Alright. Yes, Shelter is actually faster than Rhyhorn, which is very funny. It's got 40 speed. So, Rhyhorn is going to need to be switched. Now, the question is, what will the Faz use for an attack? Because if they have Blizzard, that would probably be the best attack to go with, because Charmeleon does not resist it, for one. It's going to do a bit of damage to Meowth and possibly knock it out. The only switchable Pokemon would be Tentacool, but if it crits, that's a problem. Ivysaur is not going to take a Blizzard very well. It's not going to knock it out, but it will it'll definitely hurt it. And Golbat's definitely going to take a bit. So, Blizzard is what I'm thinking would probably be the best idea here. So let's see. Okay, Tentacool is coming in. They go for a Clamp instead, because they figured somebody was going to... They figured Tyler was going to switch. Alright. I mean, I can understand why, because if you're able to Clamp your opponent, you'll be able to basically switch, Pending if your opponent doesn't switch themselves into something else. And even if they do, your opponent could wind up making a bad decision to switch in whatever they're going for. So you deciding to switch like the Faz switches in Charmeleon, and they decide to switch in Ivysaur to try to, predict that. Well, I suppose that wouldn't be the best option. Maybe Tyler goes Rhyhorn and the Faz goes Charmeleon because they're thinking, hey, maybe they'll switch Ivysaur in. But no. I'm probably not giving the best example, but Well, continuing on, I think Tentacool is probably going to use Wrap here. Yep, because Tentacool basically is the fastest water type of the tier. Ooh, that's bad. That's bad. A missed Wrap. So Tentacool is either going to be sacked, or it is going to be switched out, possibly for Rhyhorn. Which, if that's the case, the Faz could try to predict and say use Bubble Beam. Okay, Tentacool is going to be slashed. Alright, so are we going to see Charmeleon? Possibly. Okay, we see Golbat. Fair enough. Confuse Ray. Okay. Golbat wins the speed type, gets confused. Hurts itself in confusion for the Faz and Meowth. Double Edge. Alright. Now, does Golbat have a Hyper Beam? Ooh! Okay. So, Golbat was actually able to get a pretty good amount of damage out of that exchange, and able to avoid quite a bit of it in return, thanks to Confuse Ray. This is kind of the reason why it's been talked about of possibly suspect testing it, which is interesting. Let's see. But it makes me wonder. Makes me wonder. Ivysaur is asleep. So the Faz is not looking good. Most of their team is in a really bad decline. Because what I'm thinking here is Golbat can Hyper Beam right now and just knock out Meowth. The only mons that would be able to tank it are Charmeleon and Ivysaur, because every other mon, well, Shelter could probably take it. It is fairly physically defensive, and Hyper Beam's not stab for Golbat. Either that, or the Faz just decides to sack Meowth, which is kind of risky, because it's the fastest mon on their team right now since Golbat was taken out, which means that there wouldn't really be a whole lot the Faz could do as far as speed goes to clean late game. Let's see. Well, Double Edge is taken out. Goes out, and Meowth is taken out. My very small amount of vocabulary is showing through. Yeah, this isn't looking good for the Faz right now. Confuse Ray coming out again. Fire Blast, though, and it gets a crit, and Golbat goes down. However, the Faz is not out of the woods yet. Rhyhorn coming in? Yeah, there we go. And Shelter. Do we see a... Okay, Body Slam. Paralysis? No. So Rhyhorn does need to switch. And Clamp actually hits this time. So Charmeleon could be switched in quite quickly. However, Tyler could predict that and go Rhyhorn. Although Rhyhorn would be taking a bit of damage from Clamp. So, okay, Meowth coming in. Huh. That's a bit interesting. Well, Slash does come in. The only thing I can think of is maybe basically going for the best of both worlds, I suppose. Which, I guess the Ivysaur would have been a better option if that was the case. Ivysaur was already out. Never mind. So, Basically, the idea would be sending Meowth out, and if it's Clamp, then, well, you got that going for you. It's doing a little bit of damage, but you outspeed Shelter when if it actually misses. But because the Faz actually put Charmeleon out and it would be able to take Meowth out at that stage, they switched to Rhyhorn. And Fire Spin's coming out. Rhyhorn is slower than Charmeleon, so it can be exploited in that manner. But at this point... Okay, Ivysaur is coming out. Clamp. Alright, so we just got a repeat of before. Meowth coming out. It gets a bit of damage dealt. Ivysaur. Are they just... Okay, switch to Charmeleon. Crit. Razor Leaf did a bit of damage. Not a whole lot. This is admittedly... So Meowth can literally body 2 of these with Ivysaur while it's asleep. Is basically a non-threat. So Charmeleon really is the biggest issue right now. Really is. So the question is, how is Tyler going to go about this? Ivysaur is within Fire Blast range, so it might switch. Okay, it's going for Rhyhorn. Fire Blast coming in. Burn? No. Okay. So Rhyhorn can potentially take out Charmeleon here. However, again, Fire Spin has a chance of coming out, but he just decides to switch to Shelter to switch out. Tentacle coming in. Charmeleon being sacked. Well, I mean, it is asleep, to be fair. That's well, okay, I was going to say that's interesting, but it's more, I guess it's more advantageous for Charmeleon to be in than, say, Tentacle, because, again, Meowth can outspeed Tentacle. So, alright, Fire Blast coming in. Meowth outspeeds Charmeleon as well, but it takes a hell of a lot more damage, and all Charmeleon would have to do is survive one attack, which it very well can, obviously. So, yeah, Tyler is in a bit of an issue here. Earthquake coming in. Do we see a substitute? Yes, we do. Okay, I'm pretty sure Tyler has the upper hand at this point because substitute is just a guarantee block of everything. Yeah, okay, Tyler has won this. There's no way that the Faz can win this now. Yeah, because that comes in, Surf is blocked, Earthquake, yeah. Ouch. That was a very bad decision. Okay, Rhyhorn is taken out, but Meowth does come in. Wait a second. Alright. This isn't nearly as clean as I figured it would be. Fire Spin. I mean, Fire Blast would have been able to take it out, right? Okay, so... What? Slash is 100% accurate, I suppose, but... What? Maybe it was a low roll? Hold on, let me check this. Okay, that's 44%. Okay, 44%. I want to calc this. Okay, so 35% for you. Let's go with Ivy, Sleeper. Although I guess it doesn't matter ultimately. And we'll get you to 44%. Slash. No, Slash was not a guaranteed KO. What the heck? was a very odd decision. Maybe they figured it was low enough to be taken out by Slash and didn't want to risk Fire Blast. But can Ivysaur capitalize this? Yes, Sleep Powder coming in. And Charmeleon is asleep. Okay, Tyler has won. Not in the way I figured they were going to, but that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Pretty back and forth game right there. Okay. Yeah, Tyler won. All right. So let's move on to game 2. Play lead metagame, Tentacool and Meowth. All right. So we have seen, I'm fairly certain, I can't be 100% sure due to my really, really bad memory, but I'm pretty sure we've seen at least a couple of Meowths. Kind of makes sense. Although, much like Tauros and OU, seeing it as a lead is very more like a meme than anything else, because usually you want it in the back to basically clean up. That's more or less how I see Meowth, because it's comparable to Tauros for its niche in OU. So basically what this means is that Meowth can deal out some damage, but Tentacool is going to deal out a hell of a lot of damage to it. I'm fairly certain without a crit that Tentacool, I think it needs a crit for either Surf or Hydro Pump to take out Meowth, but it's going to be dealing a lot of damage. But Meowth's going to be doing a ton of damage in return. Slash does come in. Do we see a switch? Or, okay, Surf is done. That's a good move, because now Meowth is basically in a very rough spot. In a really, really tough spot. Ivysaur coming in, takes a Slash. Okay, Meowth is literally just going ham. Sleep. Ooh, okay. That was a very interesting exchange. So Ivysaur goes in. Tyler just decides to go YOLO with there's that meme. Go YOLO with Meowth and just do as much damage as possible until it was put to sleep. I'm actually kind of wondering why the Faz put it to sleep. Because, I mean, you would think that you'd want to just, do as much damage as possible and get rid of it. Like, a Body Slam isn't going to paralyze Meowth, obviously, but it would put it in a very low health total. Maybe he figured that Meowth would be switched, but Tyler decided, no, I'm just going to do as much damage as possible. So, do we see Charmeleon come in from the Faz? No, Golbat does. Confuse Ray. Confusion hit. Yeah, there we go. All right, and Screech. It does miss, but I think that's the first time we've seen Screech as an actual move used. But in tandem with Confuse Ray? What does that mean as far as like the attacks go? Double Edge and Hyper Beam? Or is it like Mega Drain and Hyper Beam? Or Double Edge and Mega Drain? That's actually kind of a curiosity. Okay. So Sleep Powder does go down, go back to sleep. Switch to Charmeleon, okay. Body Slam. Paralysis? No. But that Body Slam ended up critting, which is very painful. Shelter coming in. Fire Blast going in. Now, oh, and that was a crit! That was a crit. That is really good for Tyler. Now, Shelter does not have a whole lot in the way of special, so I mean, this would probably have been a 4-hit KO, possibly? Let me check. Standard. Let's go with 100%. And Fire Blast. Yeah, it's a 3-hit KO. Okay. So, but in this case, that is It's not a... Well, it's not a... it's still a 3-hit KO, actually, from here. Even with that crit. Okay. Really? Huh. Okay. So, this is still a 3-hit KO. And Surf is... I mean, it's going to do a decent chunk. 62%, 62.6% at the highest. But they go for Clamp and they miss. Body Slam, Paralysis? No. Clamp again. I get it. I get the concept of partial trapping moves. I really do. But I don't know. Just using it in this method seems a bit... just is very, very risky. Granted, it is a habit to... you gotta kind of focus on avoiding. Because, it's very tempting to try to use a partial trapping move to try to to keep your momentum. However, unlike a lot of switch moves now, because as far as I'm concerned, Wrap, Bind, Fire Spin, they're basically just switch moves of a different sort. They are fairly inaccurate. They are very, very inaccurate in most cases. So, I get it, but at the same time, I'm just kind of confused, really. So Ivysaur does come in. Clamp's doing a little bit of damage. But basically everything so far is just going to outspeed. Is definitely just going to outspeed. Now, the Faz, if Tyler is going to switch again, the Faz could try to predict which mon they're going into. Okay, Ivysaur. Do we see it? No, it's just more Clamp. It looks like that's just going to be it. They're just trying to run Clamp out, which means only got 7 more. Oh, but Clamp misses. Shelter gets sacked. Golbat's useless right now. Okay. The final one is obviously going to be Meowth. And the Faz is just not in a good position right now. Granted, I said the same thing last time. I kind of figured that Tyler was like in an unbeatable position there, and I ended up being wrong. Well, Tyler still won, but I had been wrong about how the whole thing would work. Now, in this case, though, I'm not 100% sure if the Faz can come back from this. Okay, Meowth does get sacked. It was put to sleep, so that's fair. Charmeleon comes in. Bubble Beam. Okay, that was a bit unfortunate. Charmeleon is now. And the Fire Blast miss. Ivysaur is going to be sacked. Yeah, there we go. Now, the ultimate thing is Tyler is, yes, there is a possibility of being paralyzed here, but team is actually in a better health total altogether. Well, never mind. One is basically out of action at the current moment. Meowth's the highest health total right now, and we'll have to see how that goes. Confuse Ray, Double Edge, and that was a crit. Okay, yeah. Tyler has just regained the momentum at this point, which, to be fair, they might not have lost it. I'm actually kind of wondering what this last mon is. It's the same team, right? Let's see. Tentacle, Golbat, Ivysaur, Charmeleon, Meowth, Ivysaur, Charmeleon, Tentacle, Meowth. Yeah, so Shelter should be Tyler's last mon, right? Okay. Okay, Meowth gets sacked. Well, no, what am I talking about? Golbat went first, so yeah. But it does hit itself in confusion. And Golbat tries to heal off of it, which, Right. Oh, Voltorb! Voltorb! Okay. That's actually kind of cool. I honestly thought that Shellder was the last mon. Wait. Oh no, I was totally looking at the opposite team. So okay, so it was Rhyhorn who was the last mon for Tyler. Okay, but Voltorb was the mon this time, which I mean, it's pretty good, actually. Voltorb's the fastest mon in the tier, and the Faz has nothing that can actually resist it. So, Thunderbolt spam at this point? Yeah, Thunderbolt. Golbat is down? Like, already? Charmeleon? Slash. That's a 3-hit KO. Tentacle goes down. Okay, Tyler ends up winning both games. Congratulations to both players. That was actually really cool. I was 100% convinced that Tyler's mon, or at least I convinced myself, I suppose, that Rhyhorn was their last mon. But Tyler kept Voltorb in the back, and I don't know if that was actually 100% intentional. Maybe they were trying to bait the Faz into thinking, okay, it's the same team from last time. So, yeah, I'll play this way in order for that to be. I'm not 100% sure if that's actually what was going on. I shouldn't claim at all that I do believe that's what's going on. I'm just saying, maybe that's what Tyler was working towards. Don't know. But ended up working out either way, although despite it all, Tyler did take a bit of damage. Although I think the Faz's biggest issue really was the partial trapping problem. At least with Shellder. Using Surf on Charmeleon probably would have been a better idea, but that's just my opinion. So, but yeah, that was a pretty fun set of games. And as per the norm, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to find out about the tier, if you want to look up the resources and all that, I'll have the link in the description along with the RBY Discord link as well. Come and check out the 7U Discord chat channel. You know what I mean. And I'll even have the link for Big Yellow's video, if you haven't already seen it, on 7U. Linked in the description, because that's how I got into 7U, because I saw a video from them about it. So, yeah. Until next time, everybody, take care. Hope to see you later.